Hello everybody, welcome back to What's for Dinner. It's about 3:45 on Wednesday afternoon. Hope you're all doing well. For those of you, if there's any of you down in Florida watching, we're praying for you guys and we're hoping for the best with that whole hurricane nonsense that's going on down there. So we love you all and we're thinking of you.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we have going on here today, hon?
So
Start on this
eggs.
side. Let's start over here. Let's go backwards.
Eggs, and I'm gonna have this yolk right here, these couple yolks. I just loosely scramble them, so I let them cook until they're pretty much hard, and then I use a whisk and kind of scramble them up, because you like scrambled, but I like the yolk like that.
Yeah, so it's a nice happy medium, right?
All right.
Right, and we've got some air fried chicken wings.
Yeah.
So yummy in there. And that's our Vortex, what is it called? Instant Vortex Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And then over here, we made burgers today. So we went to our local butcher today and we got Harder House. They have them here in Springfield. And so we got the 70-30, so 70% protein, 30% fat. And then what I do is I baste them in olive oil and
Avocado.
not olive oil, avocado oil. And then I'll rub them down with the Jane's Crazy mixed up seasoning. And then I cook them on one side for usually about 8 minutes. Flip them over, I'll cook them on the other side for maybe 7 minutes, 6 minutes. And then I will put the cheese on for usually about 30 or 45 seconds, and it'll get it to melt like you see it right here. And you can see what a difference is. Look at all the grease down at the bottom down there. So if you guys like a leaner beef or you want more protein, you know, get a 80-20 or a 90-10, and you'll get a higher protein count on it. If you want more flavor, then you get a higher fat content burger. And it just depends on some people feel like fat gives them more satiety, meaning you feel fuller. Some people think protein does. So depending upon who you ask, Teresa and I both prefer the higher fat though, because it does have a better flavor. We feel like having that extra fat in there. We went today and we figured out we're buying renderings from Harder House now, because we have some lean burgers that we don't particularly love the taste of, and so we wanted to mix fat in with those. So we bought the renderings, which is just basically ribeye fat. And so yum, ribeye is my favorite cut of steak. And so what we'll do is ground that up and we're gonna mix it in with some of the leaner meat and we'll make a fattier meat out of it. So anyway, and then we have some pizza over here. Is this the sausage pizza or just
Oh
the
my
cheese?
gosh, I forgot.
Oh, you didn't do sausage in it? That's too bad. I asked for pizza today. So this has got a little bit of the rouse at the bottom, the Rayo's,
yes.
the Rayo's
Oh, I feel bad. Yes.
marinara sauce, and then cheese, and then pepperoni over top, and then we've got some of Rosette's no bagel mix.
Everything bagel.
Everything bagel.
And
Sorry,
then Jane's
Rosette.
Crazy.
And then some Jane's Crazy mix-up seasoning on top of that as well.
It's the same that you can buy in the store, but supporting Rosette is supporting people in our space and supporting small businesses. So that's why we choose to buy it from her.
Yeah, woman-owned small business there. So it's just her and her sister, right?
Yep, Natalie.
Natalie, yep, and they're awesome.
Yep.
And
I wanted to say about the fat, other people eat lean. Most people eat lean because they're afraid the fat is going to make them fat or clog their arteries and give them a heart attack or stroke. Oh goodness, you didn't do the disclaimer.
oh my gosh, I got way ahead of myself. Just remember, everybody, that nothing you're seeing here or hearing here tonight should be considered medical advice. Reach out to your highly trained and knowledgeable medical provider if you have any serious medical questions. This is for entertainment, informational, and educational purposes only.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We got past all that now. Now we can start.
Yeah, so fat doesn't make you have clogged arteries, and neither does saturated fat, cholesterol, all that stuff. That is a myth that was perpetuated back when I think it was Eisenhower that had a heart attack in office. I think it was Dwight D. Eisenhower, but nobody told. Is that wrong?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Because you're looking at me funny.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
Okay.
There was a president of the United States.
Had a heart attack in office, and back then, like Little House on the Prairie days, they put you in bed for like 10 or 14 days, which did much worse. But anyway, he was out of office and infirmed in the hospital for a long time. And the American people demanded to know what happened and why the leader of their country had a heart attack. Nobody told you that he smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day. Nicotine and sugar are the #1 risk factors for heart attack and stroke. Nicotine damages your small vessels, so that's your brain and your heart and your carotids for heart attack and stroke, and sugar does too. So it's sugar that causes damage in the endothelial lining of your vessels, and then your liver has to go make cholesterol to patch it. Then if you look at many people on YouTube talking about pathology of clots, so if they take a clot out of your coronaries or your carotids or your brain, it is filled with fibrinogen and clotting stuff, not cholesterol. It is completely void of cholesterol. Remember, statins were brought to the market around 1986 or 1985, and then cholesterol parameters came in 1 year later.
Yeah.
Okay, so use your conspiracy thinking minds. Okay, what does that tell you? And then I have been a nurse. This is my 20th year as a nurse practitioner. So before that, I was a nurse for a while, and I remember when, first of all, we didn't talk about cholesterol. Second of all, cholesterol under 300 was fine. So now they keep dropping the ranges to get everyone on medications, including 9-year-olds. It's now, statins are approved for 9-year-olds, 9 or 11, but.
Yeah, I think now what we're talking about, I think it was Roosevelt was it Roosevelt that had the heart attack? Maybe not, I don't know. I'm going back to that whole thing. It just says
I don't think it was Roosevelt.
Okay.
I feel like I have said Dwight D. Eisenhower 502 times.
Okay.
In my
if anybody
practice.
knows, put it in the comments for crying out loud.
I mean, I could go look it up, but then they wanted to know. So Ansel Keys, who's a shady character, came out and said it was cholesterol. He did the 7-country study, but he studied like 20-something countries. But he took out all the countries that didn't fit his linear thing that when you increase cholesterol, you have an increased heart attack and stroke. Yudkin, a guy named Yudkin, came out and said it was sugar. The powers that be didn't want that to be, or they had already settled on Ansel Keys, so they destroyed him, destroyed his reputation.
Not Keys, but the Yudkin guy, yeah. They destroyed his reputation because they didn't want him. Yeah. And Keys wasn't even like a scientist.
No.
Wasn't I forgot what he did. He might have been into biology or something like that. I can't remember
and
what
that
it was.
doesn't bug me.
No, I know, I get it. I'm making a comment because if it was, you hear what happened to who was the carnivore guy who he's doing honey now, but he
Saladino.
Saladino. Remember he went on the doctors or something like that, and they tore him apart because he was a neurologist
he's a psychiatrist.
But he went out and learned, this stuff on his own, but then they used that against him. So, anyway.
Also, oh gosh, what was I just going to say? Oh, so back after that president had the heart attack, the Senate got together and tried to figure out these nutrition guidelines, which the government doesn't have any business doing, okay? And Senator McGovern, George McGovern specifically was like, we're going to put this into practice. On one of the documentaries, a documentary, they have the black and white hearing meetings of this. And George McGovern said, we're going to put dietary guidelines out to the American people. And there's a couple people that were like, Senator, we can't, first of all, give advice on nutrition, but we don't even have enough data. We have to wait. And he said the American public doesn't have time to wait or the luxury of waiting. So here you are.
Yeah.
Here you are.
Yep. We talked about this before.
Yeah. Someone hasn't heard it yet.
Yeah.
But now I forgot what else I was going to say. Oh, I know. And wouldn't it be silly? So you can block your cholesterol with a statin and do a whole bunch of other damaging things. But do you think it's wise to block a process that God designed your body to do? You can block your cholesterol all day long. Your liver's going to still pump it out because that's its job. Cholesterol is for your brain. It's to make all of your hormones. So if you're on a statin and most guys I see on statins have low testosterone. I just think it's silly. Like God made your ovaries to kill you with cancer and your liver to kill you with cholesterol.
Yeah, and I think it's worth mentioning my cholesterol.
Yeah, someone asked me in the office and I was like, I don't know. So I pulled it up because we just had it done. And mine this time is higher than yours. My cholesterol is 294 and my LDL is like 165.
I've been up to 300 before.
Yeah, you've been in the high 300s.
Yeah. And most been to a couple of VA providers and they told me, hey, you got to go run a statin. You're going to die. And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do that.
So Mark hasn't been to the VA in a while, but we just ran out of his naproxen that usually gets sent to us. Like every 3 years we run out.
Yeah, for my sore back.
So he called and they said, oh, you haven't been seen in a long time. We need to see you for blood pressure or blood work and all that. And so he's just like, I'm going to go in and the first thing they're going to say is I need a statin. And I was like, you should tell the doctor that you're a lean mass hyperresponder and he should check out Dave Feldman's work with all the doctors in California.
That would be like speaking Mandarin Chinese to a tribal Indian. So I'm sorry.
She'd be like,
yeah,
none of that matters.
No.
None of that matters.
Well, we're at about 10 minutes now, so we're right at the sweet spot.
Okay.
What
Gosh,
else?
I just got fired up. I get so mad.
It's okay.
It's just irritating.
Well, you're allowed to. You see this every day, and it gets frustrating. And you also hear these stories from patients who are getting gaslighted. So we feel for you guys. We get it. So anyway, all right. Well, tell us what you're all having for dinner.
Yes.
And if you guys have any comments or anything, share them with us. And as usual, We love you all,
Yes.
and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.